This week has been a roller coaster for USC football.
Ty Hawkins is in the studio with the latest on the Trojans.
Thanks, Lauren and Sonica. Former head coach Steve Sarkisian spoke out publicly on Twitter for the first time since he was fired. Sarkisian tweeted, quote, "I would like to thank everyone for their huge outpouring of support and well wishes. This is a very difficult time for my family and me. I am facing these challenges the best I can, and your support helps immensely. I wish my Trojans the best against Notre Dame and for the remainder of the season. No one will be cheering them on more than me. Fight on," end quote. But after a week of turmoil, the show must go on for the Trojans as they travel to South Bend to face the number 14 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Today at practice, interim coach Clay Helton and the team got a visit from USC president Max Nikias. Nikias has expressed support for athletic director Pat Hayden after his decision to fire Sarkisian. Saturday's game against Notre Dame will be the first under Coach Helton this season. Joining me in the studio is Lindsay Thiry, a college football reporter for the Los Angeles Times. Thanks, Lindsay, for being here. How are you doing today?
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you. So, how do you think the players are responding to all of this, and what was the vibe you took from practice today?
I think that players are responding the best way they can. They've been through this before. Look, this is going to be the 5th coaching change for these guys in the last 2 years, so it's kind of business as usual, even though usual is a bit abnormal for the rest of college football.
Definitely. Okay, Helton's been here for a while now. Got here in 2010, started as a quarterbacks coach. How would you describe his personality and kind of the dynamic he's bringing to the team?
I think Clay Helton's always been a source of energy at practice. He's mostly been with the quarterbacks, so we've really seen him kind of branch out. He wants to be the head coach. That means leaving the offense. He's the offensive coordinator. He'll call plays. But the last couple of days, he's been over with the defense because, quite frankly, a lot of those defensive guys probably have only exchanged pleasantries with him since he's an offensive coach.
So with that, what differences have you noticed in him? As far as you just said the defense, he's a little more interactive. What else has he done to kind of bring himself to the forefront as the head coach now?
You know, I think the most interesting thing was yesterday at the press conference. He was energetic. He was boisterous. He was proud to be a Trojan, which I always think he has been. But usually, you know, he kind of just goes into practice, gets his job done, and comes out. He doesn't say a lot. He's with his players, doesn't address the media. And now as the head coach, you kind of have to be more of a figure and really interact with everybody around you.
Can Helton turn this season around, and does he have a strong chance to return next season if he does?
The hard part for Clay Helton is that he's following Ed Orgeron, right? Ed Orgeron's the last interim coach. The kids loved him beyond belief. So people are going to measure how Clay Helton does to what Ed Orgeron did, and I think that's going to be a challenge. I don't know that we can say whether or not he has a real shot at being the head coach, but if his resume builds and he's able to put together some wins, he has as good a shot as anybody.
How big is this Notre Dame game this weekend?
I think it's huge for morale for the rest of the season. They need to be able to go out, show that they have some fight in them in order to continue on. It's still a long season. They just can't go out there and not show up.
Last question. If USC doesn't bring Helton back, we've heard some names out there. We've heard the Chip Kellys, Kevin Sumlins, Gary Pattersons. What kind of guy do you think USC will be looking for to restore the program?
I think it has to be someone far away from the Pete Carroll tree. Look, we've all known that Pete Carroll was a great coach, a lot of energy, but Lane Kiffin didn't work out. Steve Sarkisian didn't work out, so it's time to go down a new path. I think they need to bring in somebody who teaches hard-nosed football, who maybe shuts the program down from us. We want to be there covering it as the media, but really his only focus should be football and not the circus around it, and really shutting down the circus that's become known as USC football.
That'll be tough in Los Angeles. Thank you, Lindsay, for joining us. We'll keep you updated on the story at atvn.org.